Well, it's another glorious Wednesday here on Tables, Ladders, and Chatter, and you know what that means. That's time for a midweek meltdown. I got the host, the man, the Pony Boy. And then I'm your other host, getting attacked by a cat currently, Tommy Guns. And we have another very special episode of Tables, Ladders, and Chatter.
But before we get into that,
oh no.
I do have to justify one thing. I will acknowledge the new prediction champ, Cowboy Jake. I'll give him an acknowledgement, but that's done and over with. So, ladies and gentlemen, this week we have a very special guest. We have been wanting to get this gentleman on the podcast since we signed with RPW. He is probably one of the most unlike guys. He kind of has like the Timu Regal. Ladies and gentlemen, the Angel of Anarchy, Mr. Damien Saint. And he hit the applause.
Yeah.
That's probably the only applause this man has gotten in like the past month. Maybe his whole career.
No. I just haven't had applause in, I want to say, maybe 5 years.
No one recognizes excellence, though. That's why they boo. You know, they're jealous.
I'm going to say this. They might get you and Bobby Lennox confused. I mean, he's kind of copying off of your swag there. Shots fired.
Oh no, they're both my favorites.
Buddy,
what's your favorite?
There's never going to be any confusion of Bobby Lennox and Damien Saint. There can't be confusion because there's no comparison.
Okay, often imitated, never duplicated.
There is no other. I can't really say there is no other Damien Saint. There's like one or two other Damien Saints, but they don't count.
Okay,
they're just copies.
I mean, okay, I'm not going to argue. I mean, there's Hannah. Oh God, here we go. Hannah, you are only allowed 3 Joe Hendrys tonight. Last week you had 7. So, Mr. Saint, thank you for gracing us with your appearance tonight. We've been after you for a while, and luckily scheduling's added up. But I gotta kind of ask: is it funny that last week we had the Brutal Bear Steve Michaels on? He had a couple choice words for you directly. Now I'm gonna give you the chance to, I don't know, explain yourself.
Give us an idea here.
You're starting the show with this. Like it is. You start the show and you're just like, hey, Damien Saint, here's a bus coming push. You know,
yeah, we're getting into it. We're
you asked about his whole history of being in the business and everything else, like original podcast. And then I come on and it's just let's ambush Damien Saint. But that's fine. That's
we're
fine.
giving the people what they want.
I'm used to
that's what Pony Boy thinks what the people want.
So if we're going to start with what happened with Kicks at 66, how do I want to phrase this?
Hold on. Your boss has just messaged you. Fix your audio, biatch.
What a grump.
What a grump. Okay. I think we're good. It sounded good on my end.
Yeah, it sounded fine on my end. Bill's just being Bill.
Okay. Again, I want to just... What happened?
Okay. So, with what happened, let me start with this. Steve is like a brother to me. And I'm going to love Steve no matter what.
Yes.
I am always going to support Steve creating chaos and mayhem and destruction. But, and this is where some people are kind of missing, I don't want to say the point, but they're missing the concept that I am still the general manager. I do still have an obligation to Rocket Pro Wrestling, and that goes above Steve. Now, if Steve was to go in the ring and wanted to do a concerto in the ring, I mean, he would have been disqualified. So one, pulling a chair away from him as it is stops him from getting disqualified and losing the match that way. Two, when you do a concerto in the ring because the ring gives you a little bit of giveaway.
Okay.
Joe, Kid whatever name you want to go by.
We had a wardrobe change in that match, by the way.
He's not even 21 yet. To put him on those wooden steps, and that wasn't a regular steel chair. That you guys have helped put away the ring every once in a while, and especially with the chairs, which I greatly appreciate. Now, Pony Boy, let me ask you this: those blue chairs, are those heavier than a regular steel chair?
Those are more unforgiving. Those would definitely leave a mark 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I want you to think about this concept. Joe is on a wooden step. And I got thrown into those steps multiple times. My shoulder is still hurting.
We will talk about that match in a moment.
Full weight into those steps. Now imagine, I think Joe is 18. He's still a kid.
Yeah.
Now imagine that blue chair going and hitting him in the back of the head on that wood. That's not ending a career. That is potentially ending a life. And no, I cannot do that. In good conscience, I cannot let that happen.
So it wasn't so much that Damien Saint had a heart, but it was more of a business safety feature, if you will.
It was the OSHA of wrestling right there.
If you want to call that OSHA wrestling, I guess you can call that wrestling.
Tommy, do better. Tommy, do better. I
respect Joe. Absolutely. He is an amazing athlete, and I've watched the kid grow since the first time he stepped in the ring.
Pony Boy.
He's not even 21 yet. This isn't about me
but
the kid or not. This is 100% the kid's safety and his life.
But you have to take this isn't the first time he's been in the ring with Michaels. He knows what Michaels brings to the table, and you don't get the nickname the Brutal Bear for picking dandelions.
That doesn't mean he should kill the kid.
Maybe Steve went a little too far, but I'm definitely not going to say that to his face. Man's bigger than I am.
I love
that.
I will say it to his face if he asks me. I have no issue with that at all.
Bill Shelley, we ain't supposed to use those. What? Maybe we should have put better chairs up. Yeah, the blue chairs are. I can attest to this, as can Cowboy Jake and Brad and my older brother. The blue chairs are very heavy. They're very firm, and they just have a different ouch power to them.
They don't give way.
No chair gives way.
No, but I mean, there's more of a there's more of a sturdiness factor. Like there's a pump and then there's a bump. You know what I mean?
I mean,
do you ever notice anything with extra strength is always painted blue too? Scaffolding, scissor lifts, chairs. What's with blue? Sorry, I didn't mean to sidetrack it, but I'm not wrong, am I? Like that's weird.
He mentions
ladies and gentlemen, the new Frontline Pro champion has entered the chat room, Mr. Cash Money Corey McHenry. Congratulations, sir. Well deserved. Well deserved.
We're excellent.
So. Well, Michael's better than most people. You've been with him. Will he be a little more forgiving now that he hears your piece, or is he gonna not take that so well?
I would hope that Steve would understand my point. I think he will. I mean, we go back. and we go back quite
I mean,
a way,
when he came back,
since the start of Undeniable and everything with that. But Steve is also a businessman.
Absolutely.
Now, I did watch last week's episode, and there were even a couple times where we can even go back and watch it later on ourselves. And Steve even openly admitted he should have ended the match earlier. That's not on me. Here's the thing. Are we supposed to use the blue chairs? No. Are they extremely dangerous with the added weight, especially for a kid? Yes.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a no DQ match. It wasn't a falls count anywhere match.
If it was one of those, would you be okay with it?
Ooh.
I mean,
That's
like
hairs.
those chairs are still heavy. Those, like, you know, it's still. But they are putting themselves on the line once they agree with that. That's
when it comes to those chairs, I can't.
Mm-hmm.
Especially on those.
Respectable. I can.
Yeah. No, it's safe. Like, yeah.
And again, Tommy, them steps are not the steel steps. They're not aluminum. They are solid
they're just wood.
Wood. I have moved them, and you know we're gonna get into Mr. Saint meeting them shoulder first in a minute. But you brought up the Undeniable. Couple things with that. Not the best outing. It kind of looks like the Undeniable is slowly becoming the ending of Infinity Wars, and Thanos has snapped them fingers, and they're disintegrating at this point in time.
What a reference.
Now, I mean, Razi and his partner, they kind of left you hanging out to dry.
Yeah.
Again, it was a rough night for Damien Saint at Kicks on 66. Like, we're going to go through it. It might open up some wounds, but, you know.
Was it a rough night? Yeah.
Oh. Man, everybody's
Razi,
hating on the Undeniable right now.
Grump.
Razi turned his back on me.
Now, does Razi get the same pass? Does he get the same pass as Kid Lat? Because, you know, he's a young guy, just immature and doesn't know better? Or is it kind of different?
Wait. Hold on there, Pony Boy.
No, whoa.
What the hell do you mean by does he get the same pass? Like, are you asking me?
I mean, you kind of show.
Wait. No, let me ask you a question. Okay, let me ask you a question.
Do it.
So are you now asking if Steve Michaels went and grabbed Razi and put him on the steps and grabbed the blue chair and went to go swing it? Are you asking if I would save Razi then? Is that what you're asking me right now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I kind of see my.
I don't know why this is so difficult to understand. This isn't about me liking anyone or anything or alliances or anything like that. It's the kid's safety and his life. Like, that should be the bare minimum of understanding with this.
Yeah.
Okay,
You want to see someone get their head bashed in? Go watch GCW. You know.
Wow.
Go watch old ECW.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I love ECW. I think
everyone likes ECW.
I see my faults. I see what you're saying. Now with Razi, turned his back on you.
Kicked me in the face.
I wasn't gonna. Listen, you had a really rough night.
I said it first. You didn't say it. I said it, so it's. Okay.
I'm agreeing with you. And if people want to see this,
Tommy, what did you do to him? Did you just start aggravating him, get him all riled up before I even came on? Like,
he did.
Jesus Christ, he really did.
Let's see if we can make a pull of Steve Aaron. That's really.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
There's
I don't
so
know if
much
I got a concussion, but I'm seeing double right now. I see the real Damien Saint, and then I see the Timu version Damien Saint, Bobby Lennox in our comments. Like, what's going on here? It's okay. But let's get back to it. Rozzy
Fill my
booted
eyes
you in the
with those
face.
double vision.
Why? What it doesn't make again. He might have had a clear conscience. He might have. What caused it? Why do you think he kicked you in the face?
If he turned on Damien,
well, something happened. Maybe the force wasn't strong enough. Maybe he got his letter from Hogwarts and he got sorted in the wrong house. I don't know.
Got consumed by the dark side.
When it came to Rozzy and Jesus DeSafio with help me out with that match, knowing there's no DQ in that match because it's items on a pole.
Real quick, Mr. Saint, we have a comment that might need some explanation. But kid safety, what about the little girl you put in danger by paying a fan back in February and not making good on your promise? Oh, lady.
Hard question.
Hold on, I need a sip. There ain't enough alcohol in the cup right now. Again, got some explaining to do, my friend.
And some splaining. Yeah.
Would you like to answer that question or plead the fifth?
So, what are we talking about right now? Because we keep jumping around. Okay. Why am I trying to answer?
It's like Rozzy, how are we going to deal with Rozzy?
Like I started answering the question, and then you want to jump around. Like I have horrible ADHD. Holy shit, man! You are driving me crazy. Let's pick a lane and let's go there.
Every week, my friend.
Week. All right, how are you going to deal with the Rozzy situation?
With the Rozzy situation, that I will deal with in person in September. And I will deal with that face to face with Rozzy.
Yeah.
You got all this time to build up that what you're going to say, and the anger's just going to consume you more and make another Star Wars reference. You know, like it's going to be it's going to be spicy in September is what I'm saying. Like, my God.
I could just picture Damien Saint coming out in September looking like the Emperor, just filled with anger, filled with the
You got like the wrinkles too. You got, like, not now. I'm talking about when you get when making
he's saying in like 3 months. I'm just gonna age horribly.
I have no reason to talk. Look at these crow's nests. Like, I'm a Sith Lord.
I may have ADHD, but I never said you look old. You don't look a day over 22.
I never meant that. The Emperor's face gets burned into old age. You guys seen episode 3? Should we just skip the episodes? I know nobody likes them, but
oh my God, here we go.
I actually did like this.
I do too.
Okay,
but I was in high school when
episode 3 was great.
Episode 3,
God,
episode 1.
I am a baby.
Yeah.
Yes, you are, baby.
Yeah, you are.
I'm only 34. Wow. Episode 3 was the best. Episode 2 was good. Episode 1,
No, episode 2 sucked. If I wanted to watch Padme and fucking Anakin roll around in sand for like 2.5 hours, I will go watch a softcore on Showtimes or something.
Oh my God!
I did not like the second one. It was like, holy shit, filler.
That comment was like Mr. Saint's.
Agree with you.
Okay.
Out of the prequels, episode 1 is my favorite. Out of the prequels.
Yeah, this is pod racing.
Now, what you think about this one, Pointy Boy? Let me throw a little my own logic in there, okay? Episode 1 gave us the start of Palpatine becoming the Chancellor. Introduced Padme, introduced Anakin, brought us Qui-Gon, who trained Obi-Wan.
Okay.
And most importantly, gave us Darth Maul.
Yep. Which is like by far the best Sith.
And look at everything. Like, you don't even have to look at the movies. Look at everything of the Clone Wars and Rebels with everything they've done with Darth Maul, and now with Shadow Lord. Like if there was,
I haven't seen none of it.
We
haven't watched it.
We would have never had this stuff.
Nope.
Oh
Nope.
shit!
It was a template for the future.
I need to have this read out loud. Even the face on Damien Saint was like, "What the fuck?" Maximus Orion. I just agreed with Saint. Oh my!
I feel dirty.
Yeah, I take that back now. The second one was amazing.
Maximus Orion, episode 1 is the best one.
It also has a banger freaking theme song. Oh god, that.
I will also say I do like Attack of the Clones over Revenge of the Sith for the sheer point of after we've gotten everything with Clone Wars and everything with that. Going from Attack of the Clones to Revenge of the Sith, there is so much content that's missed completely.
Yeah.
To where you go back and watch Revenge of the Sith, like so much starts to make sense.
Fair.
But when you just watch it, like it's cool now when you're a high schooler and a kid.
Yeah. You just want the lightsaber scene at the end.
But
of
if
the day.
you're-
That's what everyone wanted then. You know?
I will say I like Attack of the Clones more is it's also the first time we ever got to see Yoda fight.
Yeah.
And imagine being in a theater and the
Okay.
first time Yoda walks out and
I remember that.
How the hell did the theater react? They blew up.
Yes, I was there for that. And for those of you who don't understand this context, I will sit there and like it's funny you said it now because the only thing I can compare it to is when Captain America Steve Rogers said it in big theaters, Avengers Assemble. Everybody went fucking nuts. You see Yoda come out and jumping around. Yeah, he gets the hammer. Yep. Again.
Yeah, that's a good
I'm not going to
deal.
argue it. But I think Revenge of the Sith needs a little bit more credit put on its name.
I'm not saying it doesn't deserve credit. I just feel like everything for us who grew up watching Star Wars of not even the originals, because I was born in '87, so I didn't get to see originals. I got to see the remakes when they put them back in theaters in the '90s.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
everything that we wanted as kids, I feel like we got in episode 1, episode 2. Episode 3,
Yeah.
we already knew where that was going. Like, we already knew he was to turn the dark side. We already knew he was to become Darth Vader. We just didn't know exactly how. The first 2 movies is everything that leads up to that. And to me, that's all the questions I was asking as a kid reading the books.
I like Maximus Orion's idea. We may have, since the 50th anniversary of Star Wars is upon us, we may have to have the first ever, Star Wars episode of Tables, Ladders, and Chatter Midweek Meltdown. I like this.
I'm going to paint myself green.
Please don't. Please don't. Oh,
Podcast we record. Be good it will.
All right. We're going to get back into it real quick. Before we get to the big topic at hand,
Star Wars.
Battle for Hogwarts match. Star Wars. Battle for Hogwarts match. If you missed it, and I'm telling this to you right now, if you missed it, you can check it out on our YouTube channel, or you can come out May 23rd to Hollywood Boulevard. Rocket Pro Wrestling is having the showing of Kicks on 66. Big screen, food, drinks. It's going to be interesting. But you come out with the lightsaber to battle a wizard. Then I guess, Jedi archetype of wizards. But it didn't go the way you wanted it.
No.
Was the Force not strong enough? Or was the wizarding world just too powerful for you with that one?
I'm going to go with yes.
To both. Okay, fair enough.
I don't want to give credit one way or the other, so let's just go with yes. The Force was not that strong with me that day, And
God, I hate Harry
Magic
Potter.
got the better of it.
Wow. Somebody finally said it. Harry Potter is just Star Wars with sucky lightsabers.
That's rude. You have no class, sir.
I can't. For some reason, he said sucky lightsabers, and I went to the Family Guy episode of Star Wars with Herbert the Pervert. I don't know why. I'm
That
sorry.
reminds me of Spaceballs.
Oh, Blue
Schwartz
Harvest.
is limp.
That was amazing when it came out.
Yeah. All right. So going into the Battle for Hogwarts match, lightsaber, wand. Somehow Maximus, Wingardium Leviosa, Jedi mastered your lightsaber into his hand. Stop, Ron. And you kind of got, it looked like a very good game of whack fuck.
Wow, the language we have.
How did that feel?
The fuck's a whack fuck?
Go watch the match. You'll understand.
It did not feel good. It was not fun. It hurt like hell. And I lost count of how many times I got hit with that after 4 times.
Oh, Jesus. Well, Maximus is going off right now. We got to silence him a little bit.
You started this with them.
I did. And unfortunately, I opened the box. But you want to know what? I got to give you credit, Mr. Saint. In all the years we've been coming around, this is the first time we've actually seen you get in the ring. First time we've actually seen some physicality out of you. I mean, past couple months, there was that, locker room clearing brawl at the end of the show. You got some licks in. I saw you getting it in. But, for going up against Maximus, you kind of held your own. With or without, Razi and the undeniable. You held your own. So kudos. But again, just ruined your night. You
just keep reminding him.
Like, that was not the only
I have to.
We got to move forward. You're just hurting feelings.
Jesus Christ. Damien Saint just got another compliment out of Maximus Orion.
Oh, man.
I'll give him
we
credit
see
as well.
a future tag team here?
No.
Like one of those rock and sock connections, opposites attract.
Tommy, let me say something that your mother should have said to you a long time ago.
I should have swallowed you. I got that.
Wait, what?
I will wash your mouth out with soap.
That's not what my mom had said to me. It was far worse.
No,
than that, but,
listen. His mom had Tylenol with him. He'd probably eat the soap.
Oh yeah, no, full on.
Yeah, he sees like the Dove soap and he prefers the chocolate.
Do you think different smells have different flavors?
As a middle child,
we should do an episode.
Middle child, I can tell you, it all tastes like ass. All tastes like ass. Soap tastes like ass. For something that's supposed to be so clean and cleanly, it tastes like shit.
How do you know what shit tastes like?
Oh my god.
Anyways,
I don't like how you moved past that so fast.
I'm going to, because Saint made a very good point. Out of those two I don't want to say downfalls, but those two mishaps, another one has kind of reared its ugly head, which was brought up by one of our Chatterhead Nation members. There was some dirty laundry handled. There was a unjust firing of a tag team. Would you like to? I'm going to give you as much time as you want, sir. Was there tomfoolery? No pun intended with the Tom. Was there trick photography? What happened? Because your closet is kind of empty right now.
It's time to come out of the closet.
No,
it's empty.
No.
It's time to leave it.
I guess we're gonna open up beer number 2 since we're gonna.
we condone drinking. We condone legal age consumption of alcohol here on Tables, Ladders, and Chatters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go with that.
So,
Absolutely.
if we're going to talk about this out in the open,
Yes, this is a.
did I pay Simbu, Joseph Adams? Did I pay him money to mess with Youth Gone Wild and try and get them kicked out and possibly arrested? Yeah, I did. I will be mad.
That part you succeeded in.
Yeah, you did.
You succeeded.
Here's
They had
the
shiny
thing I
new
will say
handcuffs.
about Youth Gone Wild. Did I
found
want
crisis.
them around at that point? We had the tag team championships. No, I did not want them around because I've been around those guys long enough. I know exactly how dangerous they could be, as we saw this past Saturday with Kicks on 66. 2 Saturdays ago, I'm sorry. But they've always been an extremely talented team. They've always been extremely dangerous with everything they've always done. Anything they put their mind to, they set out and they destroy till they conquer. And I cannot fault them for that. It's something I applaud and something I respect about those gentlemen.
Respectively, I will say Tom Heisman's a nut job.
He is. He absolutely is. He is the wild card in Youth Gone Wild because he is so absolutely unpredictable.
Yes.
Now, with that said, in this line of business, every once in a while, if you can't beat someone, you have to sometimes get rid of them. And it worked to a certain point.
Holy
Did I get caught?
Everybody's coming out tonight. This is a first. I don't know if Damien. I'm not to cut you off, sir. I don't know if Damien Saint is a stud. I don't know if people would want to hear what he's got to say, but we got a first. Matt Creed just jumped on kind words. Oh, good Lord.
Well, I was not expecting that.
That was a very big sip.
The people want Saint. That's what it is. The people want Saint.
Now, again, if you can't beat someone, or you think there's a good chance that you can't beat someone because you have a team like Youth Gone Wild, you get rid of them. And it worked. And I got caught. And I got called out. So it'd be completely pointless to even deny it. They caught it on the video. I didn't know the hard cam was even still going. So that is on me. And I'm man enough to admit that. Would I go back and change anything? No, I wouldn't. Because I am still all about the undeniable. My group that I started. Because they were people who I saw who could help lead RPW. And I want you to think about this. Eric Schultz. I believe he is the inaugural, I think it's the Outer Limits champion.
Yes.
Mm.
Steve Michaels, the longest reigning RPW champion.
You know what? Absolutely. And again, there's no denying that they are
an Arsenal, longest reigning tag team champions. And what happened? Business was booming.
I will say this: when you put it in that perspective, I can see you are slowly becoming the Paul Heyman of Rocket Pro. Because
he's his own thing.
Now he's trying to Now he's trying to butter me.
No, buttering up.
Listen,
Well,
I'll butter you up, but I'm going to get the butter from Texas Roadhouse. That's how much I'll butter you up.
oh, God. Those buns.
But you do have a valid point. From your clientele is very distinguished. They are very they have their titles, they have their accolades. So you do have that point. Thank you. I couldn't thank you, Tom. You are my thesaurus. They are very prestigious in their own right. But was the money necessary? Because some people make do the catch-22. You have the undeniable, the longest reigning tag team, RPW tag team champions. And then you pay a fan to tie up the loose ends. Now, it's a business strategy. If you can't beat them, buy them off.
Yep.
But doesn't that also look that you don't have faith in your clients?
It isn't about whether I have faith or not, because I absolutely do have faith.
Okay.
But it is about trying to cover not the loose ends, but the wild cards. Those who are unpredictable. Those that you can't control.
I think Joseph Adams is more mad he didn't get to go to Disney World.
God, we should do a podcast in Disney World.
We're going to get kicked out.
Oh, yeah, that's the whole point.
And I don't know if now is a good time to announce this, but again, we kind of talked about timing and how things just naturally fall into place. Last week was Steve Michaels, which your name was brought up, and we have cleared that out. You're on this week, which leads us to our next week's guest.
Skedios.
It's not just one person. It's a twofer. And, it just happens to be Youth Gone Wild.
So you're going to tell me to tune in next week.
Right now, I'm not going to hear Matt Curry talk about how I gave them credit for anything. And I can't damn it.
Shit.
Oh, it's... I think I think your new theme song should be Stuck in the Middle with You. Because, you never know what's going to happen here in the Chatterhead Nation.
I don't know what's going to happen tonight, but I had a feeling that something ain't all right.
I mean, you need an adult. Can Bill Shelley be that adult?
Bill Shelley is not an adult.
He's like the Tylenol to my pregnant mother. Okay? Doesn't work.
Jesus fuck. So
Bill
Love
does
you, Mom.
work.
I mean,
yeah, if you want the result of me.
Okay, so I had to make that announcement.
That works.
Unfortunately,
like great, if you wanted me.
It's just how the timing and everything works out. But undeniable, lost the tag team titles to Youth Gone Wild. They were reinstated. They saw there was some dirty laundry going on. I'm sure that will be adjusted. That will be talked about. Now, with the undeniable losing, I'm sure you are a very smart and wise manager. You know the rules. There will be a rematch clause sooner than later, but we got to wait till at least September. Can you confirm there will be a rematch for the RPW tag team titles, the undeniable versus Youth Gone Wild?
God, I hope not.
Wow.
So
I'm just not a Youth Gone Wild fan.
I have already put it out to Nuke. I've sent it out to Shelley and Orion as well. I have put in the request. I've sent them multiple messages saying I'm making the rematch for September.
Okay.
And in return, I get hit with, we'll discuss that later.
Wow. Now, is that because are you going to get called to the Are you going to get called to the principal's office for handing notes in class? Is that what's going to happen?
This ain't Pee Wee goes to school.
Know, but I never went to Catholic school, so
I mean, Ernest.
I went to Crest Silver.
I know that about you because you. Fun fact for everybody: make your big world smaller. My roommates, two of my closest, my two closest friends in the world, Matt and his wife Steph. No, Mr. Saint. And again, big world, smaller. I still have the picture of my niece throwing a chair at you.
I remember that.
Yes. Oh, God. Steve Arnett's on, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, this is it that, hold on. We're going to, hold on. What do you say? This is the only thing he can confirm, and that he's useless. Well, you know what? I'm gonna disagree with Steve. You want to know what? You can't say he's truly useless. Why? Because again, the Battle for Hogwarts match, in my mind, was great.
Why would you fight
Number
for
2.
Hogwarts anyways?
It's a fucking castle. Can you imagine the toga parties you can have?
Tatooine's a whole fucking planet. Cloud City's cooler too. All right, yeah, we gotta get
Before we go any farther, yes. Managed Steve Michael, longest reigning RPW champion. Actually, the only RPW champion to defend the RPW champion outside of the Rocket Pro Arena.
Yes.
And if I'm correct, it was in Hawaii.
Hawaii and Alaska. So he has defended it outside the continental United States.
Okay. Then you have the longest reigning tag team champion, the Undeniable. Granted, there was some shenanigans in play. There was. So you can't say he's useless. He knows what to do. And I'm not going to butter him like a Texas Roadhouse roll, but I'm giving the man his kudos when he deserves it.
Steve, I wasn't the RPW champion, so no, I wasn't in Hawaii. What the? Do you even know what you're talking about, Steve?
Steve may not. Steve's
seriously.
Steve's a little.
So say was in Hawaii. No, I never said I was in Hawaii. I said Steve was in Hawaii. We said Steve was in Hawaii. Steve Michaels was in Hawaii. We never once said Damien Saint was in Hawaii.
Would you go to Hawaii?
I mean, if Damien Saint was in Hawaii, I'm sure there would have been like some photos taken, and it would have been great. But I got to ask you this: with where you stand in RPW and management and all of that, what does it mean for a company to have your champion go defend your title at a different company? More or less a company outside of the continental United States.
As a friend of Steve, extremely proud of everything he's done and everything he's accomplished. Like there's no taking anything away from him. Anything he sets his eyes on, he works hard, he busts his ass, and he leads from the front with everything he does. And with that, he took the RPW championship, and he took it to Alaska, he took it to Hawaii, he took it around the country, and he defended it in not just other promotions, but other states.
Yeah.
As a businessman, when you have that opportunity to take your brand of Rocket Pro Wrestling and not just take it outside of Illinois, but again, take it outside the continental United States to, again, Alaska and Hawaii. Steve, because Steve Michaels did that, not Damien Saint. As a businessman, why would you ever say no to that? He risked the opportunity of maybe 1 in 1,000 times he could lose a championship in Hawaii or Alaska, and now you have a new champion that needs to come in. There's absolutely always that possibility. But when you have that chance to take your brand and grow it that way, to say no, then you're just playing safe. And especially in pro wrestling, in this business, playing it safe, you don't get anywhere. You don't go anywhere. You don't do anything. You sit there and stay within 15 miles for an entire 20-year career. And what have you done with that?
So it's kind of like, and I'm a movie guy. We're movie guys here. It's kind of like the ultimate quote from Tommy Boy: "If you're not growing, you're dying." And RPW just finished their 7th season. September starts their 8th season. We at Tables Eight and Chat are extremely blessed to be a part of you guys. To have like that recognition for an independent company that's only going on their eighth year, that's got to be huge. I mean, coming from Chicagoland, where the wrestling is just such a rich history, being one of your clients, being a part of that's got to mean something. That shows you that you're doing something right. And I mean, how much bigger can you go from there?
So how much bigger can we go from there? So
yes, that's kind of what, season ending, Kicks on 66. Last time I'll say it, not a good showing for Damien Saint, but you want to know what? I think Bill's going to catch on to this. You weren't thinking fourth dimensionally at Kicks on 66. You got to think fourth dimensionally now.
Yes, I do.
Where do you go from this comparison night?
Wow. I said
What?
Let me tell you what my dream is of Rocket Pro Wrestling as the general manager of Rocket
Absolutely.
Pro Wrestling. And Bill and I have talked about this multiple times, especially over the last 7 years that we've known each other, and we've gotten to know each other extremely well backstage, especially with our love of pro wrestling and Rocket Pro Wrestling. So where I want to go with Rocket Pro Wrestling one day is I want us to not only be in one location, I want us to build to a way to where we can do tours, maybe around the county, maybe around the state, get out instead of just Joliet, but actually travel. I don't want to say I want us to be the next WWE because I want us to be RPW, but to say I want to eventually become a competition of WWE would be an understatement. I don't want
to, and it's great that
gainer, and as a businessman, I want everyone and everything around me to grow and make money, and boom.
It's funny you say that because and it kind of leads into my next question. I ask everybody this, and it's a little different for you because you're legitimately the first like general manager, higher up bigwig that we've ever had on, and that's taking nothing away from the talent we've had come on, and nothing from Will, but one of the biggest things that people ask me, what is RPW? What's their difference? And I tell them they are an extremely family friendly show. Yeah, you may get like the swear words here and there, but with RPW, I love the fact that it's a family friendly show. Everybody, there's no egos. You check your ego at the door. Now, if you can say like a couple things that separates RPW from any other company, and not throwing shade on any other company, because there are companies showing up everywhere, which is great for the wrestling community and independent wrestling, as a whole. But for newer people tuning in and wanting to bring their kids to RPW, you as a general manager, what can they expect out of it? Because coming from me is one thing, but coming from an actual general manager is a completely different, situation.
So, the one thing that's always going to separate Rocket Pro Wrestling from every other pro wrestling company, entertainment company that there is one word that I learned back in college from one of my very first theater professors. And it's a word that has stuck with me, and I've tried to push it to Rocket Pro Wrestling, and I feel like Bill has taken that and ran with it every opportunity he has. And that word is spectacle. It is the epitome of entertainment. We have everything that there is. We have moments that will make you laugh. We have moments that will make you angry. We have moments that will make you cheer and jump to your feet and go as loud as you possibly can.
Sometimes
we
I
try to get every push this within the couple of hours that we have monthly. And with that spectacle, You get the production value, you get the stage, you get the entrance, you get a 20 by 20 ring with an amazing light setup over it that you don't see anywhere else. You don't get the Tron with the videos and the promo packages that you get with us. It's nothing against anyone else. I feel like every company has something that they can provide differently than anyone else. Everyone's always trying to stand out. But I do feel like we are at the top of the pack of the local independent scene, just with our production alone. And then when you want to talk about the locker room, with, like you said, there is no ego. Because that gets checked right away. The moment there is any ego that we notice it, we stop it immediately. With a lot of there's people back there who they have their little cliques. And the one thing I will say I love about Rocket Pro Wrestling is there are no cliques.
And it's great you say that, because me with Steve on last, we saw a little gentler side of Steve. And the one thing and we kind of pull back the curtain a little bit, not too much because we still believe in kayfabe. I do truly believe that, before every show you have your veterans speak. You have, the guys who have been here longer speak. And I've been around wrestling for many years. I was with, Pro Wrestling Blitz at St. Joe's before RPW came along. And, it is amazing to see the solidarity and the love inside the locker room. And like you said, like with a happy locker room, then have a happy show, and I'll sit here and tell you till I'm blue in the face. I'll stand 10 toes on business. Every show, by halfway through, nobody's sitting in their chairs. Nobody. I get more questions on why do they have to take a break? Why do they take that break? With that said, and I ask this to everybody, do you think it's more beneficial for a company to do a 4, 5, 6 month stint based on storylines like old school wrestling, which I'm massively about, or you have these companies that pop up every 3 or 4 months, charge a nice little price at the door, get big names to come in, and you get one good night of what you expect to be pro wrestling? Which one is more of a business growth in your mind?
For me personally, for business growth, it's going to be the 6 to 9 month story stint. And it's nothing against those who run, 4, 6 shows out the whole year, and they can spend the money and bring the big names. God bless them that they can do that. If that's their thing and they can fill the seats, great for them. Me personally, I've always been about the story because that is what has me invested. I grew up doing theater. When I first started going to college, I was a theater major.
Yeah.
Pro wrestling's always brought me
on
because of the stories. It wasn't so much the matches. The matches were cool and all, but the stories that the matches had of Rock and Austin or Triple H and Shawn Michaels. And I love the days of where you had a story and you wouldn't even see the guys even touch each other.
Yep. I love those kind of stories.
Months. Until you get through the first or second month, and now it's done one fighting touches another. And you can easily build a 6 to 9 month story just out of that little moment, building to hatred.
I mean,
one-off matches are cool now, and I can appreciate them. But for me, it's stories, because you might be able to get me in the door 1 month because you have a really good card. 3 months later, you might not have the same card. Now, if you look at that and say you run 4 shows out of that year, and you kind of do that way, I might come to 1 or 2. But with someone like Rocket Pro Wrestling for 9 months out of the year, from September to May, if I can get caught on a really good story in September, why would I not want to go back and spend money to see where that story goes?
Exactly.
It's about the return customer.
And I mean,
the return customers got to go, and they have a month to talk about that story that they love, that match that they love.
I can't tell you, and I've talked to Youth Gone Wild, and I've talked to the Shelleys and Nuke. Our buddy Jake, Cowboy Jake, our buddy owned a karaoke company. I can't tell you how many nights I'd be sitting there with him. We'd get tapped on the shoulder. Hey, we heard about, the two guys getting arrested. Fuck! Like, come on! Like, really? And again, I'm a big storyline guy. And I mean, we can even look at yourself, Maximus Orion, wearing the eggshell white, going back to the black and the purple. I think, and me personally, I think it's a lot harder for companies to be able to tell a storyline from month to month. But you guys have somehow tapped that lightning in a bottle that, the storyline with you and Maximus, that's quite a bit of time. That's almost a year and a half worth of storytelling. Now, next question. Do you think it's better for an independent promotion to rely on bringing big names in, or should they be able to stand on business with the talent they have?
I personally think they should be able to stand on business with the talent they have because we've proven that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Have we brought in a few names every once in a while, like Joe Hendry? Yes.
Yeah.
But
you want to know what? I give you credit with that one. I think you guys were smart enough with that one, with the business aspect of his contract's coming up. He's going to get signed. Let's, and again, you guys don't bring a lot of, I don't want to say this how it sounds, but you don't rely on big name draws to get people in the gym.
Yes. And with Joe Hendry with that, I will give Nuke all the credit in the world because somehow he's the one who managed that whole thing. I don't know how he did it, but that was one of the wildest things I've ever gotten to experience. But no, we've never needed national names, international names. We have the talent that we have because we are very character-based. We are very character-driven, and that is what Joliet loves.
Mm-hmm.
I do you have Steve Michaels, who's making a name for himself in his own right. You have Marche Rocket, who, wrestles for NWA. So you have homegrown talent like Paulie Tomaselli, who's been there forever. He's wrestled for all these promotions around the Chicagoland area. You have tag teams like Youth Gone Wild. You have Maya Karas. You have the new current RPW World Heavyweight Champion, the generational talent Shaq Jordan. As an independent wrestling fan, and I'm a big and independent wrestling has skyrocketed in the past couple of years. It's almost that your talent outshines these big names.
I feel that's kind of what we try to do. Nothing against the big names, but if we can tap into the entertainment and we can pretty much put our finger on the pulse of what the fans are wanting, why would we need to bring in outside names? Why would we need to bring in people who have contracts and pay thousands of dollars? Nothing against them. But if you don't need to spend that type of money in order to draw and fill a house, why would you? When you have the local people who are born and raised there, who move to the area, who might be an hour or 2 hours away, but they're still in that local area. When you start building up everyone who's local, everybody's friends start talking about it, and the word starts getting out. And it's just like I was saying before, all it does is it helps Rocket Pro Wrestling continue to build and grow and build that name and get it out there even further.
And you do have a lot of young talent. I will say this about this past season with RPW. You saw a lot of young talent coming through the door. I mean, we saw Silky Smooth. We saw JDM. We saw Z Kickham coming back. And it's got to feel refreshing to know that you have the young guys, you have the old guys, and then you have your veterans. Now, as a GM, sir, I think I know a tag team that could possibly solve your Youth Gone Wild problem.
Is it the Undeniable?
No.
Because are you trying to get me to turn on my own tag team?
I mean,
sounds like it.
I'm going to tell you what this is going to cost you. It's going to cost you a 24-pack of Coors Light, a handle of Crown Royal, and a family-sized pack of Skittles. And one of the tag team is already within the company. But
this feels like a bad Keenan and Kel episode, Tommy.
Yeah, right?
I mean, you
need to
want the area.
Have a Walmart down on 5th Street?
If you want to match Youth Gone Wild to craziness and you want to match it with, I don't want to go crazy, but a little bit of hardcore, you could call upon Hardcore Impact.
No, his team is the Undeniable.
No, hold on. Tommy, you don't understand. I could see the hamster rolling on the wheel. I could see it.
No, you don't see the hamster on the wheel because you see me slowly getting aggravated because you're pretty much telling me, hey, Victor Wade, Aaron Osmo, you just toss this guy to the side and bring in Hardcore Impact. That's what you're telling me right now is kick your boys to the side.
They need a break.
Very Tylenol thing to say.
That's a very Tylenol thing to say. Just throwing it out there, Mr. General Manager. Just throw the idea out there. Nothing against the Undeniable. I truly enjoy them.
Politely decline.
I know what? Respectfully, I accept that the declaration of declinate. Is it
declination?
Okay. Thank you, sir. I'm not a word guy.
Obviously.
So this is about the time where we kind of switch up from RPW and all that. Everybody's a wrestling fan. And I like to start this off with the most somewhat asked question, but one of the hardest questions. But with you in your position as a GM and as a manager, I'm going to word this question because I want to see your reaction. What is your Mount Rushmore of managers?
Mount Rushmore managers.
And it is a combined of all wrestling. No brands, no territories, of all time greatest managers, greatest mouthpieces. Who is your Mount Rushmore?
Paul Heyman. Bobby the Brainy Heenan. Classy Freddie Blassie.
Wow. And what was the last one?
J.J. Dillon of the Four Horsemen.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah,
I can
say him just for number 4, just to be able to do this.
It's pretty much mine, but I'd add the Grand Wizard.
Listen, a lot of times people don't put, they like to put Tom Ellery in there from Road Warriors, and that is a very solid list. Was not expecting that.
With Paul Ellering, don't get me wrong, I've always enjoyed Paul Ellering.
Yep.
But the quiet manager, I feel like it doesn't work as well as it did back in the 80s. Paul was a bodybuilder. He was a big guy. He wasn't small by any means. So when you had him next to Hawk and Animal, was he as big as them? No, but he was still pretty well big.
Mm-hmm. He didn't look small.
So he didn't always need to talk. He had a presence about him. He just had a mean mug on him where he looked like if you come outside, he's going to kick your ass as well.
Okay. And I noticed that Eric Bischoff didn't make the list because, if we want to go with mouthpiece-wise, he was kind of the mouthpiece for the NWO. or was he just
No. Well, you did ask for managers. It wasn't.
Well, he kind of managed the NWO, and he managed to put too many people into the NWO, which ruined them.
So I noticed you didn't put Stacy
I don't
Keibler
really
in
count
there.
Eric Bischoff as a manager.
No, okay. I guess that could be a hot take. I guess we can kind of hot take that one.
Yeah.
And going with the manager conversation, you have slowly seen that kind of die down within current wrestling, and I mean, you still have Heyman, but why do you think it's such like a dying breed or a dying gimmick that you don't see a lot of managers anymore?
I feel like you see them decently in the independent scene. I feel like you don't recognize them because maybe they're not performing in a way that catches your attention, or maybe it's just not within the area that you're seeing. Like there's plenty of managers that I know that I think are absolutely phenomenal in the independent scene. Now, with that said, I can also assume there's easy 10 times as many managers that are not nearly as good, and I don't know their names because I don't see anything of them.
Fair.
When it comes to national television, international television, when it comes to managers, has that died down a lot? Yes, absolutely. And I feel like part of the reason with that is because we've had these stars, these amazing stars like Rock and Austin, Undertaker, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, just to name off an easy handful.
Brooklyn
of
Brawler.
who really led the Attitude Era of WWF, WWE at the time. None of them really ever needed a manager because they had the star power and they could cut a promo and they could work in the ring. And I feel like for international and national television, I feel like that's what everyone is trying to strive for. Is they're not looking so much for the next mouthpiece, which I wish they would, but they're looking for the next person with the overall package. So here's something that I learned from J.J. Dillon, because years ago, early in my career, I got to do a seminar with J.J. Dillon and Barry Windham of the Four Horsemen.
Okay.
And this always stuck with me, and I hate this. I absolutely hate this. But it is the most realist part of being a pro wrestling manager. As a pro wrestling manager on any show, you are always the first one to be cut from the locker room because you cannot have a wrestling show without one wrestlers or two referees. You can have an entire wrestling show without one manager. And I feel like that is what everyone is also trying to go for. Of they don't want to hire someone extra to do the speaking for someone when it could completely enhance them. Because they miss out on, if you look at Paul Heyman and CM Punk, two amazing people who can talk on the microphone for hours without each other. Now you put them with each other, and now you just have magic.
Yeah.
And I feel like people have missed out on that. They see it and they think, oh, that's awesome. But that's also because, and I'm not trying to toot my horn right now and try to compare myself to Paul Heyman, but I have tried to model myself a little bit after Paul Heyman of I've never tied down to directly anyone, and I'm still my own individual character and personality. I'm not just this person's manager. I'm not just Steve Michaels' manager. I'm not just an advocate for Eric Schultz. I'm not just a wise man for the undeniable. Not trying to steal his trademark phrases or anything like that, but I'm trying to help really make that point clear.
And I think with that, it not only shows your, what do I want to say? Not your tenacity, but your ability to adapt to other talent. And I think, with talking to Paul Heyman, you see he's able to adapt with other, styles of wrestling, styles of athletes. Now, I know you did say that, like overseas wise and other, do you think that talent, let's say like Shinsuke Nakamura or Asuka or Tozawa, they have a very hard time cutting promos because of the language barrier. Do you think if they had a mouthpiece, they would have a more significant and dominant career, or would it kind of just fall off?
I think with Tozawa, I think it would help a lot. But here's the problem with that. So when Asuka first came in, I know there's language barrier. And Asuka did an amazing job of getting past that completely on her own. She didn't need someone like Paul Heyman. She could speak. Yeah, there was the language barrier, but she was still able to get her message across with the emotion behind her words, and the emotion behind her message. Now, when it came to Asuka and I think her name was Julia, when they both came into WWE, both people, I looked at them, and I saw the amazing talent, and I thought instantly, Paul Heyman, like they will skyrocket far beyond what they could ever do on their own if they had Paul Heyman. And they're doing amazing on their own as it is. But I don't know if Paul Heyman can speak Japanese. And therein lies the problem.
Okay.
Could they use a mouthpiece to help translate? Yes, absolutely. But now you need to find someone who is a good manager and someone who is great in the corner for them, but can actually translate Japanese to English. And there kind of becomes a problem.
Yeah, that sounds like a dime a dozen.
Me personally, I've never seen anyone from Japan who, when they translate for someone who's from Japan, nothing against the Japanese accent, but it's always someone from Japan who's always translating it. And there's always kind of a thick accent with the English.
Yeah.
Which, again, there's nothing wrong with that. But when it comes to a company like WWE, I feel like someone who, I don't want to say is American, but someone who is able to speak English clearly and concisely, and who can speak and understand Japanese, I feel like that would be a great asset to them.
And it's funny you brought up like Julia and them who would thrive with a Paul Heyman. Why do you think that Paul Heyman, or maybe a two-part question, we can go about it this way. Why do you think that most women wrestlers don't ever have an advocate or a manager? And part two is, right now in the main roster, which female wrestler would benefit more from having Paul Heyman as their mouthpiece?
Okay, what was the first part of that question again?
Why don't we see, why do you think we don't see a lot of like women wrestlers with like a managerial mouthpiece?
So I feel like with that, as much as I love how much women wrestling has grown over the last 2 decades, I still feel like they're not given a full platform, and they're still not giving that full time. Are they getting their moments? Are they having great stories? Yes. Could they be better? Yes. As far as it goes with them having a manager, could it be useful? Absolutely, especially for a heel. But I feel like because they don't get the same amount of attention, and I don't want to say the same amount of respect, but something along that lines, that they don't get the same dedication of time that someone would get with Paul Heyman.
Okay. And I mean, you do have a point.
Let's just say what's the stable that Paul Heyman is part of right now? What
the Vision.
Oh, the Vision. But
yeah,
the Vision, it's the real version of the industry. It's okay.
So with the Vision, when you have guys who have been in there like Austin Theory and Logan Paul, and they have Paul Heyman. Like, you look at everyone who's been around Paul Heyman. Would it be nice to see him with female talent and help build them up? Absolutely. But I feel like the question is then, are they going to get the proper amount of time? You have stars who are like Alexa Bliss and Charlotte and Becky and Bayley. But this goes back to kind of what I was saying with national television of how they are with managers. When they can build up a superstar who can cut the promos, who doesn't need the mouthpiece, you're saving on that bottom line because you don't need to have a 2-person act for a 1-person act now.
And I'm the biggest stickler on women's wrestling. That's what we get messages, we get DM'd. Oh, Ponyboy hates women's wrestling. No, it's not that I hate women's wrestling, but like you said, like you don't see it enough. Like I couldn't tell you who, like they made the Intercontinental, the women's tag team, and the women's United States Championship. I couldn't. I know Becky is the IC women's champion, but the other two I don't.
No,
it's
AJ.
Is it? No, AJ got beat at Mania. Stupid.
Oh, okay. Fuck you. I mean.
But you know, and I don't know if it's because it's lacking, but you know, if you would put, like you said, there's so many talented women wrestlers in the roster, and I'm talking like not even like you said, Bliss and Charlotte and Becky and Bayley. I mean, if you well, you know what? I'm gonna go on a limb and say it, and you could disagree if you want. If you put Paul Heyman with Jade Cargill, maybe she'd be more believable.
No.
But I'm a firm believer Jade Cargill is a female version of Bill Goldberg.
That one I have to disagree. Am I crazy about Jade? Not always. Do I enjoy her work from time to time? Yes. And I have no shame admitting this. I have not really watched the product lately in quite a while. I've kind of fallen off the wagon. I still watch clips online every once in a while. I still get to see what's going on from time to time. But as far as it goes for watching on a weekly basis, I had no shame in admitting this. I'll get burnt out. I've tried watching every WWE show that there is, and it becomes consumed. And I have a beautiful wife at home who does not watch pro wrestling. So it's either I can go sit in the bedroom by myself and watch pro wrestling, or I can go sit with my beautiful
I understand.
My beautiful hot wife.
Hold on, you're gonna get the preach, my brother. Preach. My old lady, she's not a big wrestling fan. I get it. Like, I watch Monday Night Raw on the pay-per-views. That's about it. That's it. SmackDown. But you got to think that if there was like, I would personally like if Paul Heyman would ever take on a female talent, I would say Jade. I would more so say Jordan Grace. Or for shits and giggles, Nia Jax. Because you don't need to, like you said, if you can have, you use the Paul Heyman and CM Punk comparison. Both are great on the mic. You got magic. But if you have Heyman, who's great on the mic, and somebody like Jordan, who doesn't have the greatest sounding voice or isn't that great at cutting promos, it will work. Seems, and maybe at that point, people will tune into women's wrestling because like, oh wait, shit, Paul Heyman's with a girl now. You know.
Yes, but now you also create the problem of now you're relying solely on Paul Heyman
to bring up the women's division.
You're treating it as Paul Heyman is now the draw, not the wrestler. Paul Heyman is there to help enhance the wrestler. And Paul Heyman's been around long enough that he is his own star. 100%.
Yeah.
But the role of the man is to be an extension of the wrestler, an enhancement. Now, if we're going to talk about Paul Heyman, who he should manage, Jade Cargill, I can kind of see that a little bit. I would actually be okay with that. Is it needed? I don't think so, and here's my reason why. She doesn't bore me like a Bill Goldberg match does. I can actually watch a Jade Cargill match because she can actually wrestle a match. Does she botch every once in a while? Yes. But can she work a 8 to 10 minute match? Yes.
I would hope so.
Goldberg? No. Like, let me take you back to one of my earliest wrestling memories. When I first started watching wrestling, when I found about WWF Monday Night Raw and I started watching, instantly became hooked on Stone Cold Steve Austin. I found out about WCW. And the first night I go to turn on WCW, you want to know what that match was?
Please tell me it was the Bret Hart Goldberg match.
No. But it wasn't. I don't know who it was that he was facing, but I got to see the entire intro of his music hitting, the pyro, the whole package, him walking out of his locker room to the stage and all the way down, and I got to see the whole thing. And that match was 10 seconds long.
Yep.
I never turned on WCW again after that.
Wow.
When you have someone who's that big and looks that impressive, and you're telling me that this is the competition that is beating Monday Night Raw on a weekly basis, and somehow that's a 10-second match of a spear and a jackhammer, and I'm supposed to believe that's more entertaining than Stone Cold Steve Austin beating the shit out of Vince McMahon?
I mean, I wasn't allowed to watch.
Boss.
I was a baby. I wasn't a baby, but I wasn't allowed to watch Monday Night Raw. But all three of us are millennials. We were, but you remember being back in the day, sitting with the remote, and for the young kids watching, if you don't know what the recall button on a remote is, you are too young for this podcast. That's where I'm leaving it.
Oh, shit.
And I get what you're saying, but I mean, the women's division needs something. And like I said, you don't see a mouthpiece for the women as much as you do the men. Do you think that could be? It's something different. It's something not used a lot to get more involvement and more eyes on the women's division. And yes, they have their one pay-per-view every 4 or 5 years. I get it, which they need more of. But do you think having a mouthpiece for the women's division is the right way to go?
I think it could help. Do I think it would do damage? No, I think it would help more than it did damage. But you also need the right person. And I feel like to have a mouthpiece for someone in the women's division, one, I feel like it being a woman would help.
Ooh,
and two,
hold the phone. That's an interesting concept.
A woman managing a woman like a man manages a man? Holy shit. Like it counts sense.
Whoa.
I mean, and you I don't know who you would do it. I mean, okay, now I think about it, I'm like, okay, maybe Vicky Guerrero, but we've seen that.
I mean, look, if we want to talk about a really quick stint of female managers.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go in the valets because while I do appreciate someone like Miss Elizabeth, let's go to more recent pro wrestling.
Okay.
When Trish Stratus came back. And who was she with? Who was she?
Zoe Starks.
Thank you.
She's
Her and Zoe were amazing together. And Trish was playing the manager role with Zoe. And it worked well because you had someone who's been a main eventer. You had someone who's a star, who's that caliber, who can cut the promos, who's done the in-ring work.
True. Wow.
Like, if Trish came back and wanted to do the whole manager thing, I'd be all about it. If any of those legends wanted to come back and do the manager role, I would be completely all about it. One, they're a draw. Two, it's got bringing us millennials who grew up watching them.
True.
And three, now you're introducing the kids to a legend. So now that kid can kind of sit there and go, oh, I really like this person. Oh, I really hate this person. I want to go back and watch some of their stuff. Oh my God, this Trish S. Oh, Lita. Who's Lita? Oh, who's Jen? Who's Tori? Who's Stacy?
You want to know what? And like Tom said, I know Tracy did the whole thing with Team 3D. But you want to know what though? That might be an angle that's worth exploring because you have all these divas coming up. Now, I don't want to say divas. These wrestlers, these female wrestlers, this female talent. Thank you, man. I'm not gonna lie. Thinking about it now, I would not be like. And I'm like, I just thought about it because you said it. I'm gonna give you credit where credit's due. You can have somebody like Booker T's wife. You could have somebody like Michelle McCool come back. I have never thought about that, and I don't want it to sound sexist or anything, but I've never have processed the idea of a woman manager, and it's been done before.
It has. Well, think about it this way. Pretty much all of the managers, the greatest of all time, all the best managers we've always had in the world, they started off as wrestlers, minus Bobby Heenan, who started as a manager and went and became a wrestler, and then still did managing. But Classy Freddie Blassie, Michael Hayes, two great examples as it is right there.
Yeah,
they were wrestlers who became managers. They hung up the boots and then they took the corner.
What do I think would be a great manager? And I'm just thinking about it now. Molly Holly. I think she would be an absolute phenomenal manager.
I think she absolutely would be a phenomenal manager because I think she was teaching at a wrestling school up in Minnesota, if I remember correctly. And I don't remember if she's still up there teaching, but I do know at one point she was. I feel like her, with everything that she did, from coming in with Trish Stratus and everything, her whole career with delis and everything else, her whole experience. Yeah. Like, she can talk, she can work, she can do everything. And she came in, mentoring someone.
Now, as a manager yourself, you have to have some sort of say in who you manage because you can't just put yourself with any Tom, Dick, and Harry that come off the street. You got to have that sort of compatibility. You as a manager, how do you go about doing that? I assume you do your homework, you do your research, but at the end of the day, what draws you to a possible client and or talent?
In all honesty, the biggest thing I always look for, and when I started building Undeniable, the first thing I wanted to look for was, one, who was local and that was extremely talented.
Okay.
But two, and more importantly, who is willing to learn? Now, do I know everything that there is in the business? Absolutely not, and I will never claim to. But anyone who has ever sat down with me, whether on podcasts or in the car, or even some of the rest of the kids who I've actually brought into my home and fed them and actually done my own little in-home seminars where I've helped them with promos and helped them film things and plan out matches, and multiple kids from Wrestle League I've done this with. With that, and I just lost my train of thought. It took an hour and a half for me to finally lose my train of thought, and I'm kind of impressed with that.
Holy shit.
Hi, kid.
Pony Boy has lost his train of thought like 15 times.
Scared the shit out of me.
I know,
Niece is home. You said, Damien?
Hi.
Hi, kiddo.
You threw a chair at him.
I remember that. I like it.
All right, go on.
Bye.
Get out of here. I want to touch on that too. Like like you said, you open up your home and to upcoming talent. That's got to be more. Wrestling is a very fickle company, very fickle business, because some people don't like the constructive criticism, and a lot of people are very touchy of their craft. Nowadays, we're kind of peeling back the layers here with Damien Saint, with offering, like that type of an olive branch to the talent. That just drives that you love this sport. You love this atmosphere. Trying to think where I'm going. See, now I lost my train of thought. Son of a bitch!
Jesus Christ!
And what about Wrestle League? And again, Wrestle League. You have Wrestle League, you have RPW. It's got to be rewarding for you. Okay, yeah. When you let these guys and these women come in and you basically help them, and then you see all of the success they're getting. That's got to be a massive payout for you. That's got to,
It absolutely 100% is. I've been extremely blessed in this business in the last 10 years with the people I've gotten to work with, the people I've gotten to manage in general. There's some people who I've managed years ago who they did a little bit and then they kind of just walked away, and that's their right. Then there's people who I got to help come up with, and I've got to watch them grow. People that I've managed, Isaiah Moore, I've managed at one time. We had our own stable called the Thieves of Greatness out in Indiana, Michigan. And I've managed Isaiah a few times. Jason Hotch with TNA. I've known him since he first started. And I used to manage him in a tag team called Big Facts, Ohio. I've had multiple clients who have been lucky enough to go on and go to do WWE tryouts. Not fully make it, not get a contract, but they still went and did the tryout.
And that's no shame on that. That you have how many independent companies showing up and everything like that, but your talent has made it that far. Again, nothing to be ashamed of.
Absolutely. Now I got two more. I do need the name.
Ooh.
Because I've already mentioned Steve Michaels, everything he's already done. And I mean, Steve was not Wrestle League. I've gotten to teach him what I can, and I've learned what I can from him. And that's our friendship is some days are good, some days are bad, but we're always trying to help build and grow and learn from each other. But the other two people I will name is Joe Wynn, Kid Lat, because the kid did just come back from Japan. The kid
did.
He's 921, and he just did a tour over in Japan. I think it was like 1 or 2 weeks long, but the kid still went over.
It's still.
And the other person I have to give credit to is Shaq Jordan, because I've known Shaq since he was in Wrestle League, since early on in our early days. And one of the big things, I've never gotten to manage Shaq, and we've tried hitting up different promoters and try to work something out, and it just never happened. And that's part of the business as it is. But for me growing up and watching wrestling while everybody else is watching the matches, I'm studying the characters, I'm studying the stories, and I'm starting to study as a kid, why does the babyface come out first? Oh, he just got attacked by the heel. Why is this match set up this way? Why is this person going over right before this pay-per-view? How they're standing in front of the cameras and working with the fans. And I took a long time to study that even before I got in the business. And when I first met Shaq, I saw the star power of Shaq Jordan, and I knew the kid had tremendous potential. And after the first meeting him, anything that I knew of watching from WWE and anything else of television, of how they work the hard cam and how they position themselves when cutting a promo or working a match, everything I beat into Shaq Jordan's head, and I take zero credit for everything he's done. But the kid has listened to me And he's even been extra on WWE. I mean, we got to see him do security with
the Elimination Chamber.
Oh, what was their name?
I think it was during the Elimination Chamber.
Jacob Fatu, Roman Reigns. What was that group's name?
Was it the Bloodline? Or
Bloodline.
No.
Yeah, the Bloodline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And you want to know what I think? Yes. And that, you know, and you know, again, wrestling fans, kayfabe, you know, everybody likes to believe it. And that's one of the fun things that like we do on this podcast. Yes. Again, storylines, we love them. But, you know, the fact that you're able to come on and share these stories, and that's what we love to do. And, I mean, I think, you know, I'm not going to lie, I think it would be entertaining to see Damien Saint with Black Excellence.
Yeah.
I mean,
you are welcome.
Shut up, Sami Zayn over there. And the last thing I want to talk about RPW.
That was my creation, and I will keep that going as long as I can.
But I mean, the possible mass takeover of RPW, you can have the Undeniable and then have Black Excellence. I mean, you're winning on both fronts, sir. And as like we said, you know, we love the stories and everything. Maya, the fuck?
I think you're leading somewhere for another question.
My question is, I mean, and you said Wrestle League and RPW, and Maya Cross has come from Wrestle League. She does RPW, a talent in her own right. She's an absolute star. And you know, you come from Wrestle League and everything. How did that make you feel to finally see somebody as pure and clean and a fan favorite as Maya Cross do the literal heel turn? Like, literally, I'm sitting there and I'm going to go back to Star Wars. This was one. She did the heel turn, and I literally saw Mace Windu fly out the window. Like, what the fuck?
So here's what I have to say about that. Did it catch me off guard? Yes, 100%. Did I see it coming? No. But I feel like everyone is trying to pull a Steve Michaels and myself. And what I mean by that, and Max O'Ryan has done this himself with trying to screw me over when he joined Undeniable for the little bit that he did. When Steve Michaels came to Undeniable, him and I created a plan, and I could not let anybody else in the group know. So the first time that there was Steve Michaels and Undeniable, it was a 3-on-3 6-man tag team match. Steve Michaels was on the other side. And Steve got in the ring, and he kind of tossed around the Kings of the Six a little bit as it was. And I think Schultz might have been that match too. Kings of Six got it worse. But we had to make it look real. We had to make it look authentic. And unfortunately, that created some bruises. But for Steve to join us, nobody can know. And I feel like ever since Steve and I have done that, Maxis Orion has done that to me. Maxis Orion has done that to Turtle to get to me. Maya has done that now.
I was shocked.
I mean, Steve and I are the originals. Steve, I, and Eric
often imitated, never duplicated.
We are the ones who really built Undeniable on our backs and built it to what it was. And with that, have we had to play dirty handed tactics every once in a while? Yes.
Winning with an advantage.
Tactics, it is interesting seeing over the last years, other people come into our locker room and then they try and play the similar cards.
Often imitated, never duplicated. And you want to know, you are 100% right. But again, the heel turn from Maya, that really screams Damien Saint to me. That you kind of got your mojo in there, and it like my niece that just showed up out of nowhere. she bought a Maya Kara shirt that night, and she's leaving. She's putting on. She goes, "I can't believe I bought this crap." I'm going, "Oh, good Lord!" Like I literally just witnessed my 10-year-old niece's first wrestling heartbreak. Like, what the fuck?
You're gonna get so many more too.
It's gonna get worse. Bill Shelley acknowledges it. Copycats. Now, before we start wrapping this up, again, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
So it sounds like we're gonna have to have you back on to do the inaugural Star Wars episode, which I am 100% for. May 23rd. I'm assuming you will be attending the May 23rd Hollywood Boulevard watch party for Rocket Pro Wrestling Kicks on 66.
I honestly have not decided yet. So here's my thing, and Bill has asked me about this before. Okay. Every once in a while, I get asked why I don't show up to events.
I know what? That is a very good point. I have never seen you at one of these watch parties.
So I've been to maybe 2 or 3.
Okay.
But one of the reasons why a lot of people don't see me when it comes to the RPW open events that are outside the arena, one, I have a big personality as it is, and I don't want to take away from anybody else. But 2, and most importantly, I don't like letting people know what I'm doing. So that way, when I do show up, it's more authentic and more likely to catch someone off by surprise. Everything I do always has the effect of something bigger. So if I show up to something, it's because I haven't been there or done something in maybe over a year. And I haven't told anyone, you know what, maybe I'm going to show up.
Surprise factor.
What helps with the arena? You do. You do quite a bit in a cleanup crew. I will give you that one.
Well, I guess beyond that, I'm the one who put up the hooks for the overhead lights.
Oh!
Bill has lights. And
I know he does. That's great.
And I was late at the time, and we got the scissors lift. So I'm the one who went up the scissors lift up to the deck to go through this deck. So Bill did not get scared and pass out and get stuck.
I do the curtains with Shelly. But see, I do see Bill climb up on ladders, and it's really hysterical because he'll get up there and he'll kind of stop.
Yeah. Now imagine a lift where he's up 20 feet in the air. No.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I don't think Bill could do it.
There's a for work as it is. So for me, I don't mind.
There's a 50-50 chance we'll catch you at May 23rd.
Anything when it comes to Rocket Pro Wrestling and the public eye is always a 50-50 chance. I'm just never going to tell you 100% what it's going to be.
I love it. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, again, storylines. Storyline based. I love it. Maybe that explains why he never comes out to the watch parties at Industry Tap House every Monday and every pay-per-view. I see your game, sir. You're well. You know what?
So there's partially that, but let's also be completely honest. 100% during the week, I work construction, and I am up in the city at 6 o'clock in the morning starting. So
fair enough.
I would love to come and enjoy a Monday Night Raw or something like that. Yeah. I have work in the morning, and I am old and tired.
Hey, listen, I know I'm off on Tuesday, so it works in my benefit. So I fully get that. One of the things before we wrap up, May 23rd, we'll be at Hollywood Boulevard with Rocket Pro Wrestling. Every Monday, we're at Industry Tap House right here in Joliet for the Monday Night Raw watch party. But one of the things we like to do is we love to have our special guests close out the show, whether it be a words of wisdom, whatever you want to tell the chatter. And if I'm correct, Tom, we had almost 15 viewers tonight, which is a record. Previously held by Corey McHenry at 12. Ooh. So Mr. Saint has smashed that record, which again, We've been after him
I'm
for
not gonna
many
say that
months.
Corey is another kid that I brought in my car and in my home and helped teach him, but Corey McHenry is another kid I've helped put in my car and feed him in my house and teach him.
I can sense the greatness. I can sense where he gets it from. But before we end this and wrap this up, we're definitely going to have you on again. We're going to run it back. But what can we expect? What do you want to leave the Chatterhead Nation and the Rocket Pro fans with right now? Because September's a long way away.
While September is a long way away, it's not really that long when you look at the introspective point of this whole thing. Life goes by extremely quick. I'm 38. I'm turning 39 next month. There are still plenty of days I forget I am not 24. Whether I'm on the job site and I start looking at things, thinking I'm 24, and my body says, no, you're dumb. Or whether it's a spiritually I feel like I'm 24, and I have to remind myself, no, dumbass, you were almost 40. With that, time goes by extremely quick. So while 3 months away seems like a long time, it really isn't in the grand scale of the entire universe. It is just a speck of dust in the time of table. But for the Chatterhead universe and all the people out there, all 15 people.
Yeah.
Hey, that's the record. And you know what? I'm okay with that.
It is.
I don't care if
a big
it's
number
15
tonight.
or 1. I'm still going to do the same show the same exact way.
I love it.
But the only thing I can really push on and express to you, don't live with any regrets. Chase your dream by any means necessary. My childhood dream was becoming a pro wrestler. Am I a pro wrestler? Kinda. I work matches every once in a while. Do I get to do more of the Paul Heyman thing? Absolutely, which I love. But when I found out that DDP was 30 years old when he got in pro wrestling, and I was 28 at the time,
Change the game.
And get in the business, and I learned how to wrestle and how to work as a manager and a referee. So it does not matter whether you're 18 or 38 or 58. If you have a dream, fucking chase it, pussy.
I didn't see that.
Hell yeah.
I didn't see that coming.
I was saving that this whole show. I'm like, I haven't broken Tommy or Pony Boy at all.
That just got me. I didn't see that coming. Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you, Damien Saint, for coming on this Wednesday. Absolute pleasure. We're going to run it back. I am the host, Pony Boy, and Tommy Guns all the way from Helena, Montana. Ladies and gentlemen, until next week with the Youth Gone Wild, God help us, we might get canceled after that show.
Midlife crisis gone wild.